All right. So, coming up in this episode, we have traveled out west from, obviously, Schenectady, Albany, Troy area.
Would you say Schenectady is like our home port?
It is. That's like our home base.
But you're still in Schenectady County.
We are still Schenectady County.
We haven't left the county. And was it the smallest county in New York State?
Is it really?
It's one of the smallest ones. I mean, if you look, it's pretty tiny.
That's crazy.
It's a little like triangle.
Like even compared to like, because we're talking about area. We're not talking about...
area, yes,
we're
like
not talking
size.
about population.
Nope.
Because like, I got to imagine like some of the boroughs are going to be pretty small.
Yeah, but I don't know that each borough is a county.
What about Staten Island? Is that part of Manhattan County?
It might be part of a larger county. I'm not positive.
All right, I guess. Yeah.
I've never looked it up.
Neither have I. Because it's like Rhode Island, is like a really small state, but population-wise, it's probably not the smallest.
Hawaii, maybe.
Yeah. Well, either way, we are not in Hawaii.
Way off subject.
We're not in Rhode Island. Right. We are in Duanesburg at Back Barn Brewing, and we're going to be talking to Brenda, who's going to introduce not one, but 2 new beers today to us for the first time. They launch tomorrow.
I can barely contain myself.
I'm so excited.
Actually, I can barely wait to drink them. I don't know if I can contain myself.
Well, I'm excited. I know you're excited. So that's all coming up in the next few seconds.
The Capital Brew Podcast with 20 North Dave and Nick Lee. What's brewing in the 518?
All right, we're welcoming...
That's all right, dude. You can edit. You don't have to leave that terribleness in.
That hairball?
Right.
All right, well, on that note and that horrible laugh, let's welcome in Brenda. Brenda, so thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for inviting us out here for this.
And thanks for coming to visit us.
Yeah, no problem.
We're not open today, but still it's a beautiful day out here.
Yeah.
Spring is finally getting here, I think. I'm not quite sure about that, but finally getting here.
Anyway, the way this last April, April was pretty nice early in the beginning, but the way that this May's going, any day that we hit 60 degrees, I'm happy when the sun's shining.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's been tough the last couple of days. It looks like it's supposed to be nice, but man, that wind starts whipping when the sun goes behind the cloud.
Keep your sweatshirts handy.
Yeah, a little chilly.
Speaking of which, I really like those Back Barn Brewing sweatshirts that you guys got there, and I see them all over the place. I'll go out in Albany. I live in Troy. I'll see them in Troy. So it's always fun to see.
That's awesome.
Yeah, seeing the gear out there.
I think it's merch. We got some merch.
Yeah, we finally got merch, but we're still poor, so it's literally.
But we weren't. This wasn't a money making deal.
No.
If it was, we'd be on the street.
Yeah. We got stickers, and we got and Dave actually he hand signs every single coaster that we leave at a venue.
I did not know that, but I will gladly sign your coasters. I don't know why anybody would want it.
You bring it to 20 North.
To be honest with you, I have no idea why somebody would want it.
Because you're famous now.
Yeah, I've heard that, but I don't think it's true.
All right, Brenda, what am I drinking here?
This is your
this is your
sipping beer, right? Was we first sipping beer?
That is the Amber KCA, and Amber kicking cancer's ass.
Oh, there we go.
Right.
That is the beer that is the beer that I poured my heart and soul into because number one, Amber is my favorite beer.
Yeah. And
kicking cancer's ass. We donate a portion of our proceeds to American Cancer.
Can we donate money to here?
Yes, and
awesome.
Actually we're getting ready to contact another Nick
Yeah.
at American Cancer Society to give him a check here in the very near future. But I'm a cancer survivor.
Yeah. Congratulations.
I'm now out a little over 6+ years.
Awesome.
So,
Wow.
That's great news.
Excellent. So while we're on the subject, because you are drinking one of the beers we're going to taste anyway.
Yeah.
So, I think about you might as well, if you're drinking it already, I might as well, taste it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now we usually don't do it in that order, but I don't really think we have necessarily an order.
Yeah, you have it the first one there. That's kicking Amber KC.
And Amber,
so this is actually one of the beers that you gave us today.
Yeah,
yep,
absolutely.
And Amber is also one of my favorite beers, even though, everybody's always into the IPAs nowadays. Somebody makes a good Amber, there's nothing.
Well, we like classic beer styles here. We're always going to have an IPA or maybe even 2 IPAs, but we really there's a lot of different kind of beer styles out there, and we want to do our best to brew as many as possible.
That's awesome.
In the classic beer styles.
Now, this is an Amber Ale.
Tell
us a little. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's Amber Lager.
It's an Amber Lager.
Oh, I see. It's an Amber Lager. See, I'm already messing things up. Lager, one of the toughest ones to do.
It is.
That's what they say. I really don't know. I'm not a brewer.
Every brewer we talk to.
Our moat, obviously I made a mistake. Amber ale is an amber lager. What differentiates that between like any other lager, or all lagers generally ambers?
No, you can have an amber ale, but we decided to lager this. It's really this the amount of time it's fermented and the patience that's required in fermenting. And we're doing more and more. I mean, we've got now 3 Pilsners on, with our Peño Pils, our Black Pils, and our Heritage Pilsner. So
that's impressive.
We're right now at four lagers. In fact, we even do some ciders here, and we lagered a cider. So we're now completely out of our seasonal cider that we make here. And we're probably going to be ramping up next year on our ciders.
But you have a cider on. It's just not the same one?
Yes.
Okay.
We have a cider on, but right now we've bought them. We do make ciders. So we go from about October. We just emptied our last Back Barn cider last Sunday.
We missed it.
Yes, and another thing I'd like to also point out, too, is that it's... we should have probably said this right off at the top of the show. It is American Craft Beer Week.
Oh yeah, we screwed that up already. You know, we can move that around, right?
We can add that.
Cheers.
You can say yes. Cheers.
Yes,
you know what? I really do like this beer. Wow, it's very not to compare, but like we've had some other beers that like very smooth, like not like you taste it. It goes down, and it's like you're ready for another sip. There's no like after bite or after like you know. It's like whoa, I'm ready for another one. Yeah. Yes.
Our brewmaster Klaus Kulan, he was leaving as you came in.
I've met him. He was down there once.
He really prides himself in perfecting beers, and it's a pleasure to work with him.
He nailed this one. Big fan of the ambers in general. Mostly amber ales. Like who's got a popular one? Like New Belgian.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Fat Tire, along those lines.
So do you have
Sorry,
anything...
I'm just slamming this beer over here.
Do you have anything ramped up for American, besides the 2 beers that you're releasing? Is that the reason why?
That's enough. Last week we put on tap our Fancy Black Mustache.
Okay.
It's a black Pilsner.
Yeah.
It's a Schwarz beer. It's a little-known German style, using... it's nice and smooth and crisp. That's the third one there. The third one in your lineup. And smooth and crisp. And we use some unhusked black malt.
Okay.
Which gives it the color?
Yes.
Okay.
And some of the flavor.
The caramel-y flavor?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got to give it a shot.
Oops, my bad.
I think I've had one black Pilsner. Was it at... didn't we have it at Wolf's Hollow? Didn't they have one?
They would have, if anybody would have.
No, that was a black IPA.
They had a black IPA.
Yes, we do have a black IPA.
That was it. See, it's all my memory.
Yeah.
It's like Swiss cheese.
I'm sure we've had a black Pilsner.
We may have some, but this seems like
it's rare. It's very rare.
It is very rare. Little known style.
You can smell it as soon as you smell that.
Yeah, if you look on that beer chart that you sometimes see at different breweries, it's off on the corner down in the lower right-hand side, and it's kind of sitting by itself.
Yes.
I'm excited for the rye that you guys are releasing also.
It doesn't... It's what's the word I'm looking for? The darkness fools you. Like you're expecting like a dark... heavy beer, and it's not that at all.
Yeah, and this one is replaced our Newman's Brown, which is a historical beer from, we know Bill Newman from Newman's Brewing Company back in the 80s. And so he was looking for some of his friends to brew his beer. So we do brew it, probably keep it on 3/4 of the year. But now that we're out, we're just gonna we like to rotate it,
change it up,
rotate beers and keep it interesting. But the Newman's Brown is always a very popular beer. It used to be his winter ale, and it's a nod to a real legend in the craft.
And this has been served at 20 North. Right?
Yes, we've had it. It didn't last very long. It was in and out.
But you only had a sixth.
Yeah, we only had a sixth, exactly. And I think a lot of it got taken care of by us.
In-house.
The in-house guys, But a lot of it's when you say Back Barn or Wolf's Hollow or a local place, and it's like almost like, not that they don't make great beers, but people just want to drink.
Yeah,
they just want the local stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why it goes so fast.
What's new? What's local?
What's new? What's local? And that's one of the reasons we do it, is just how quickly like people will abandon their normal beer when somebody says, "Hey, I got a new beer from a local brewery," and next thing you know, somebody finds out and it's on. It's on. I mean, like I said, I don't think that beer lasted more than probably less than a week. Probably less than 4 days, actually. Once people get their hands on, their teeth into it, it's over.
Yeah, we're lucky. Like I say almost every podcast, we're blessed at the breweries that we have here locally. And
it's amazing. People were like, "Oh yeah, there's not that many breweries in Schenectady County or Schenectady itself."
Yeah,
You'd be surprised. How many breweries there actually are.
There's just shy of 500 breweries in the whole state, and there's probably a good 6 or 7.
We have 6 right now.
Yeah. That's not too shabby for a place that wasn't doing too great when I was
for a small
when
county.
I wore a younger man's clothes. Yeah, exactly, for such a tiny county.
For the smallest county in the state of New York.
Right. Mad Jack, another one. People are just they just want to say, "Hey, you got Mad Jack?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got so and so." They don't even I'll take it, whatever it is.
That's one of the things that used to drive me. Like I've pointed out before on other podcasts, is like I'll go to a restaurant and I'll say, and this is magic just because they've been around for so long. I'll say, "Hey, do you have the Fighting? Or I see you have a Mad Jack. What is it? Oh, it's Mad Jack. But yeah, is it Fighting Irwin? It's Mad Jack.
Dutchman Ale?
Yeah. What am I? All right, I'll just take it. Give it to me. I'll figure it out on my own.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll drink it. Yeah. I don't think you're that picky.
No.
Now that we've done a black Pilsner, and since we opened the door on the new ones coming out, the other new one coming out is
it's a Heritage
Pilsner, which would be this one.
Yes.
That would be the
light one. That's Pinot.
No. This is a Pinot.
That's Heritage.
Oh, that's Heritage?
You could be getting me.
No, that's jalapeno. I can smell it immediately.
Yeah, you can smell it.
Oh, yeah, you definitely can. All right, so this is our Heritage Pilsner.
So this is the second time we've brewed it. Last year we brewed it for the Rotterdam Bicentennial, and it was extraordinarily popular, extremely popular. We sold out of it very quickly whenever we do the cans. We're going to be labeling the cans. We canned some yesterday. I can talk about our small batch canning process. We do it all in-house here. About 250 cans a day, so we don't bring in a big mobile canning facility, but we do it small batch.
Like manually? Like is it like, okay, yes.
2 at a time.
Yep.
And then we label it and can it, and we only sell it here. Whenever we do Pinot Pils or Heritage, it sells out. Well, any of our classic beers, it sells out very quickly. But Heritage Pils, we use a Heritage hop from one of our upstate hops providers, and it's
grown here in New York State.
Yes, it is, and it's it's Heritage hops. It's called Heritage hops because it's one of the survivors from the late 1920s,
before Prohibition,
before Prohibition, and before the parasite that killed all of the crops here in this latitude, the hops crop. So,
really? How did they manage to keep somebody had it in their home or something?
Some of these grow along our fence rows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
They grow along our fence rows, and our hops provider, Alta Vista, I'll give him a plug. He has propagated it. He works with Cornell to propagate these hops, and there's a lot of interest at Cornell to use these hops because we think that can help us develop more resistant hops to parasites, to drought, to climate change activities. So there's some excitement to these hops. And so this is why we're excited about using this. Plus, we think it's a great story, and it's been a very popular beer for us.
I can see why. It's very refreshing.
Yes.
I can see why it sells out, especially probably in the summertime. People can't get enough of it.
That is delicious.
It is excellent. It has a... Right now, I mean, it kind of jumped to the top of my list right now.
As far as Pilsners, yeah.
Yes, I can see why it sells right out. It's very... I've used this term before, like drinkable, but it's refreshing almost. You know, I don't know if that's like you're like it's like thirst quenching, I guess
it
you might
is,
say.
yeah.
Like
it's crisp.
That type of thing.
Yeah, and this just replaced our back roads Pilsner, which was a Bavarian style Pils. So we're finding quite a bit of success with our Pilsners here.
Now, keeping on the hops thing, heritage meaning it's one of the original here, but was it brought over here from Europe somewhere? Like a Bavarian, obviously, was from the...
Well, that one I don't know what its origins were, but from being there's 2 or 3 different hops that we have acquired that are in this legacy and heritage type hops, but this one is the one we do like to use for our heritage Pilsners.
It's excellent. For anybody who wants it, make sure you get up here, because it's probably going to go real quick. I can see that happening.
Well, if I have my way, there'll be at least one less 4-pack before we leave here today, if that's possible.
Well, we did make a full 7-barrel. So last year we only made 5 barrels of it, but this year we did make a full 7-barrel, and that's the capacity of our brew house.
That's awesome. It's delicious. It's great.
Yes, I can't even say enough good things. It's like replacing my normal drinking beer.
I know. Yeah, it's really surprising that you have as many Pilsners and lagers that you do have on there. As we've talked, as many brewers will tell you, Pilsners and lagers are some of the hardest to make, and that seems to be right in your wheelhouse. That's pretty impressive.
And I'm looking at the board. It looks like this is a 5.3 ABV, which isn't huge, but it's definitely a step up from the normal.
Pilsner.
4 whatever.
We like to keep right in the 5.0 to 6.0 range.
That's a good range.
Drinkability reasons,
Yep.
And people just won't be able to have just one. But responsibly, they can drink 2 to 3.
Yeah, I can see most of them are. Most of the ones we've tried so far are in the low 5% range. The jalapeno
delicious.
one we're going to get to is a little higher.
They actually have 2 jalapenos. They got a jalapeno dry.
No.
That's jalapeno pills. I get it.
It's describing it.
I knew that. You know what's
We
funny?
are changing up our menu board because we have so many questions on that.
30 seconds ago.
How many beers do you have? 16? No, it's
We
8.
have 8 taps.
At
We are expanding to 4.
At
4
least
more.
5 or 6 times I figured out that puzzle. I'm like, oh no, this is how it is, and I still catch myself being like, oh yep, there's no.
Nice.
No, hopefully another few weeks we'll have 4 more taps on, and that's going to be pretty exciting for us.
And for those people who are listening and not seeing, this back barn is actually a barn.
Yeah.
A classic style barn with the open timbers inside.
Though
Very impressive.
I will say that this is more of the front barn than it is. Would that be the back
Well,
barn?
no, the back barn is, this is 2 barns together, right? Yeah. And it's kind of an unusual because of the geography here.
Yeah.
The back barn, I'm from a farm just east of here, and the back barn name really comes from that farm, where we did have a back barn at right angles to each other. And that was just, we used to call that the back barn.
The back barn.
So,
we'll go up to the back barn and go get this.
And that's where the logo came from, and that was the genesis of that. So it's, and it was a catchy name, I thought.
So that you had another place that had a back barn, and then you saw this and were like, hey, we can probably use this as our barn.
This actually became the brewery. The other one was just your...
that's where I live. I'm
6th
generation in this town, even though after college I moved away for many, many years, and I came back, and I still live on that farm. But
is it 6th generation on that property?
Or
just about?
In that property, yes.
Wow.
I spent my teenage years right on Knight Road.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then my grandfather used to own a farm on the other side of town, right next to Jewett's. It used to be an old dairy farm.
Yeah. A chicken farm.
Well, Jewett's is a chicken farm. There used to be
and then a dairy farm.
That's what he used to own years ago. That was my great-grandfather.
Okay.
Moved from Skinny Atlas to Williamsburg.
Skinny Atlas out in Syracuse area, right?
Syracuse area.
Yeah, nice.
Yep, Skinny Atlas. Can you spell that?
No.
Most people can't. I can't do it. It doesn't really look like it sounds.
No, not at all.
Well, does Schenectady either? How many times have you seen somebody not from New York say Schenectady?
I hate to say it the worst, and I've mentioned this before, I think. Cater-us.
Yeah, Cater-us.
I know I've bitched about this, but there was a McDonald's commercial that they were doing like a...
I remember.
They were doing
Why isn't there not an exit 3?
It was along those lines, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And they used like local stuff, so everybody would be like, "Oh, McDonald's is using our local terms.
Yeah.
Let's go eat some McDonald's."
Yeah.
Well, and it took me years, and I'm like, "What was the original name of Albany?" And they'd said two terms, and one of them was Beaverwick, which I Beaverwick, and the other one they said Cayadera Saris. And I'm listening to it on the radio. I'm like, "What the hell are they talking about?" So one day I'm on the Northway, traveling north, and you cross the Cateras.
Yeah.
And I see it spelled out, and I look, and it suddenly, like a lightning bolt, goes into my head. I'm like, oh my God, they meant Cateros. Yeah. I'm like, those effing idiots. I'm like, somebody really dropped the ball there.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. I'm like, somebody did not do their local research on that one. And I don't know if anybody from the Albany area even picked up on that.
Or even said, because everybody's like, what are they talking? It's like,
I mentioned that, people look at me like I'm nuts. I'm like, come on, no, that really happened. I know I saw it, and I know I heard it.
I will say that there was a really good McDonald's commercial that they did film in Albany, downtown Albany, that was actually kind of awesome, where they put up like a little kiosk, and as people walk by, it would yell at people.
The kiosk would yell?
The kiosk would
was
yell
there somebody
at people.
in it? Or was
no,
just like
I think there was like a van somewhere where they were like speaking through it, and they'd give them breakfast sandwiches, and they would take the breakfast sandwich and move along.
Well, I mean, it happened in Albany. How do you know this?
Because it was like, what's the building right below the old Omni? Where there's what is it, Tenyuk? Tenike?
Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
Tenike?
I used to know a guy with the last name.
I think it's Dutch.
Yeah, it is Dutch.
We just talked about it earlier. It's so funny you mentioned that. Somebody said the term ten bruck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ten breck? And I'm like, is that how you say it? I didn't even know. Yeah. I think it's another Dutch term. Like, you see it, there's a lot of that. You see that name a lot in this area.
Yeah.
But how do you say it now? Is it ten breck or ten brock?
I'd say ten brock.
Ten breck?
Ten brick.
Ten brock? I don't know. I'm like, we're really digressing here, but I just don't know, and I haven't come across somebody who knows.
I haven't studied
Ten Ike, I know because I've heard people say it, but ten bruck, never.
Yeah. Either way,
what does it mean? Why is there a 10 in front of it?
It's a name.
Like
named
Van,
after
like
same,
Van,
like Van Buren,
Van Buren, Van Rensselaer.
Van Rensselaer, yep. That's what those came from. I know a guy who had the last name Tenbrook.
Oh, really?
Tenyuk.
Tenyuk is, I think you say it. Whatever. We're getting into it.
It's giving me a headache.
Poor Brenda over here.
No. You know what? Believe it or not, it's these tangents that we go into that people will come up to me and be like, "I love your guys' banter."
Well, someday maybe somebody can call in. Well, we don't have a call in, I guess. No phone.
We do, but I'm not giving away my personal phone.
Somebody's got to tell us how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
We're probably pronouncing Ten Ike wrong too.
Yeah,
for that matter.
Who cares? We do what we want.
I mean, we're over it.
Well, you pronounce Back Barn right.
Yes,
that's it. That was the important part. See, you nail a few things.
Actually,
that's all you got to worry about.
It's Back Barn Brewing, 3 B's.
Not Back Barn.
No, that's what I said earlier.
Right, Back
3
Barn.
B's.
I can't speak. I'm the worst person for this job.
And you're on the radio. It's your only job is to talk.
Yeah, it used to be.
And you are sitting in 2 renovated old barns.
Yeah.
See?
Trust me, there's no place I'd rather be right now.
Especially, I might have to take some Pilsner home myself. Okay, let's get off the subject.
Yeah.
All right, we got to try this. We got to try this jalapeno because, like most people, I want to say, I was asking Brenda about it. I'm like, is one of the biggest hurdles trying to get somebody to actually taste a jalapeno beer?
Jalapenos.
Well, it is growing, and the reputation keeps growing. And it's the first time I ever had it at my brewmaster's house. I said, "This is the best beer I've ever had," and I still think that to this day, even though I like all these other beers. It's very interesting. We think it's a very well balanced beer with jalapeno peppers that we dry hop it with. And it's not too strong because some people, when we say, "Oh yeah, this is our jalapeno beer," and they go, "Ooh," and you can smell it, and you can smell the peppers in there.
Absolutely.
And but it just it's not like it's overpowering. If you've had habanero beers and things like that, they can be a little bit overpowering. But this one, it just gives you a little bit of bite right in the back of your throat.
And it mostly like gives you the taste of the jalapeno, but not so much the heat. So if you it's almost like, I hate to admit, like taking like what jalapenos come in. They come like a vinegar.
Yeah.
It's almost like drinking a little bit of that with some beer.
The pickled, yeah.
Right? You know what I mean?
Oh, speaking of which,
and it's good with any food.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is, especially Mexican.
Anything like the spiciness can, like you said, we did our thing. You can compare, like you can contrast. Or you can, I don't think compare is the right word, but
compare and contrast.
You know what I mean? Like,
compliment.
Compliment. That's it. You can either compliment or contrast. It works both ways, especially something like this.
And it would complement. This would be something that you would eat with not because it's not super spicy. And I always beer is like one of my favorite things to do is eat spicy food. I go all over the place. So I'll go to Texas places that claim they have the hottest foods, and I will try their whatever. And one of my favorite things to drink while eating spicy food is beer, and I definitely would drink this beer with a spicy food.
Absolutely.
Now, do you pronounce it jalapeno or
Wait. Now you can't get it right. Jalapeno. It's Tenbreck, all right? That's how you say it.
Well, that's why we call the beer Peño Pills.
Yeah, there we go.
Jalapeno.
I'll take
Quesadilla too, thanks. All right.
Jalapeno.
And we keep talking about doing T-shirts and with our brew dog on it and the logo or the tagline, "Taste my peño."
There you go.
Out of curiosity, you said you hop it with jalapeno.
Yes.
Like what specifically jalapeno wise? Do you take like it and dry it and grind it up?
No, it's actually fresh jalapenos, and we cut the top off, we slice them in two, and that's about it.
What about like do you put the seeds in?
Yeah.
Everything.
See, there's where your kick is from.
Yeah, we put it in a hot bag, and
all right.
It literally tastes.
See, I'm curious. I had no idea.
It tastes like liquid jalapenos.
Well, there definitely is, exactly like you said. There's a little bit of bite in your throat,
but not overpowering.
But not like you're like running for the milk or
Right.
Absolutely
if you ever
not.
want to taste what a jalapeno tastes like, but you never eat it because it's too hot, try this.
Yes, it definitely has that jalapeno taste.
Yeah.
Almost a little smoky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you smoked the jalapenos at all because it tastes like it tastes
but
almost.
That's a great
like
idea to do for.
Yeah. Well, you can you use that all you want. I got a smoker. I'll even smoke them for you.
That's awesome. She keeps a notebook. She writes down notes.
That's how you. That's
because
how you,
my brain can be like cheese too.
Mine's gone. I've given up on that. I'm never getting it back. It's too far. I'm too far into it now. I'll never get it back.
Yeah.
Although I can remember the dumbest things from my childhood when I was 6, but I can't remember what I did like 2 weeks ago. I think that's a sign of like dementia or something.
Yeah, it's like Jess. She
was
can't remember where her keys are, but
stages.
she can remember every little detail of something that I said that was kind of...
Oh, absolutely. Like verbatim. Like she probably even can do your like expressions even.
That one time 6 months ago in my dream you said this.
Yes. Listen, I'm sorry.
Where's my keys? I'm just kidding, Jess. I love you.
I hope, you better hope she ain't listening. She's not listening to this.
Oh, man.
The view out here is beautiful, too. If anybody comes out here, you can see right across the valley all the way over to 88. Was it 88?
And all the way out to the over to the escarpment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That escarpment. Is that like the... Like what?
Indian Ladder?
Thatcher Park? Yes, Thatcher's Park. Yep, Thatcher Park. I went over to we went over to Thatcher Park not long ago, like last year. And I haven't been there since I was probably like 13 years old. Now I'm 48. I forgot how beautiful that view is. I forgot how far you can see. I want to say the last time I went as a kid, it was raining, so you really couldn't see. I mean, it's spectacular. You got to be able to see at least 60 miles. I think you can see the foothills of the Adirondacks, and I think you can see like the white or the green mountains.
You can see the Berkshires, definitely the Berkshires, and I think on a clear day you can see the Green Mountains.
The Green Mountains. It's spectacular. I can't believe, and it's such a nice area. I'd forgotten they have all kinds of parking areas and places to have a picnic and stuff. It's really awesome. I'd forgotten.
And from that view, it just looks like the city of Albany is just built in a forest because it's just like wooded, and then all of a sudden you can see Albany.
Oh yeah, you can see those. What is that? Those 4 towers that are the part of the
Corning.
Is that what the Corning Towers? Yeah. Yes, I think that's what it is. The Corning Tower.
As Terry O'Donnell would say,
named after Erastus Corning, who was like mayor of Albany for like 40-something years. Oh, like almost his entire adulthood.
And he was an orange.
He was not. He was not an orange. I don't think they had artificial tanning back then. I want to say Erastus Corning died in like the 60s. I don't even know. I don't know that much history, but he was mayor forever.
Yeah. They seem to last a while in Albany.
Well, I think he was part of the machine. You know what my dad actually said? He never. It's essentially the same thing, but my dad said he never forgot like a face and a name.
Yeah.
He was I guess he was really good about that. Like obscure faces, he never forgot a face and a name. That might be something that's really probably a great thing to have if you're going to be mayor.
Sure.
Never forget a face or a name.
I can never forget a face. I can't ever remember a name, though.
I know it's always one or the other for people, but he had maybe he nailed it both. That's why he was mayor for 40 years. Probably didn't even know what he was doing. He just remembered your name.
Did he used to make glass?
It might be that family.
Yeah,
I hate to say.
They were from Syracuse.
There's a chance that he was from that family.
Yeah.
Who knows?
They're New Yorkers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you look at the Roosevelts, you had the upstate New York Roosevelts and the downstate, like the Long Island and the Yonkers or whatever.
I don't. Was it as far down as Yonkers? I think they're Hyde Park.
Deer Park.
Hyde Park. Deer Park's on the island, I think. I think Hyde Park is where it's along the Hudson River.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's over by West Point, I think.
Yeah, right over there, along the river.
Along the river, West Point, the full fort. This jalapeno beer is got some kick. It's creeping up on me.
Yeah,
it
does
bit.
a little bit. Yeah,
it's moving up.
It's more in my stomach than it is in my throat or mouth.
And that is one of our core beers.
The jalapeno beer.
Yes,
I can see why.
What are the mainstays?
It's uniqueness.
Oh, the amber, and we always have an IPA, and we rotate the Newman's Brown as our other core beer. But
I want to try that.
It'll be back.
You're gonna have to
we'll
wait.
Bring some down to you.
Awesome.
But
I'll come get it.
Do you know that I got away with no IPA taste today?
Yeah,
I think it's the first time
we've not had an
we've
IPA.
done a brewery or a restaurant or whatever and not done an IPA.
That might be true.
Wow, it's like my lucky day. Well, I've definitely never been a fan of IPAs.
There's a lot of other beer styles.
Oh, yeah.
And
No, it's just everybody's like, we've talked about this too, running in the same direction.
The reason being because when we ask for that crazy crowd pleaser, it tends to be an IPA.
Well, the one that's most popular.
Yeah.
Generally is an IPA.
The one that we call a crazy crowd pleaser is the one.
and some people just come in, they go, yeah, I'll have your IPA.
Yeah.
They don't even.
That's all they go to.
Nope.
And that's great. But there's a lot of other beer styles, and we think we have a pretty good IPA.
Yeah.
And we like to rotate our different ones. Right now in the tank, we've got a Skyline Crush. We call it Skyline Crush.
Okay.
And using
Skyline's a road right over there.
Yeah.
Oh, it is? Okay.
But it's called Crush because we use Mandarina Bavaria hops in it.
Oh, wow.
And has a very orangish flavor. I tasted it yesterday before we crashed it. And very nice, and hopefully next week.
There you go. There's another new one.
There's
coming
another
out.
new
All
one
right,
coming
everybody
out.
get excited.
This is a place to be this summer.
Yeah.
So many new beers.
They got all kinds of construction going on out here. We got some outside. It's the whole deal.
Yeah, we got an outside patio, and then we have a beer garden in back.
How new is that?
2019.
Last year?
Somebody signed it.
2019 we signed it, and we poured the patio then. And then last year, obviously, was imperative. And it was just good timing that we had already done a lot of work with that. And then the beer garden is the back area with our authentic Munich beer garden tables. And
they got a little beaver pond out back. Maybe you can swim.
Yeah, well,
watch out for the eagles. Keep your children close.
There are a lot of eagles as of late out in our area.
Everywhere, like on the river. The river's hugely popular. I saw one the other day.
Yeah,
and on the lake where I am. I see them all the time.
At my new job, Rivers Casino.
Yeah, you'll probably see them all the time.
Yeah, right. My office window is right on the. There's the bike path and then there's the river, and the things you see. Two things you see almost every single day: eagles and people crew like riding boats like the. What do you?
Oh, well, that's because both like all Niskuna and
Union,
Burnt Hills and Union and Schenectady all have their rowing clubs right there.
Yeah.
You always know spring's in the air when you're crossing the river. You see those guys out on the water. You know it's time. It's the weather's changing. Maybe we can get some crew out here on the beaver pond.
Catch up on beer.
Yeah, you're slowing down, but you had an entire pint.
Yeah. Well, I didn't realize it was one of the samples, so I just poured that sample in there. So now it's even more.
Oh, you doubled up.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So
go ahead. Oh no, we're excited about music coming back and slowly starting to add some music venues back in.
What are a couple examples of music acts that you've had here in the past?
Well, one of our favorites is Lucian Levi.
Okay.
They live on Princetown Road.
Okay.
And just huge crowd pleasers. They get the crowd
a lot of heavy metal
engaged. He can do Levi can do a Purple Rain that will bring you to your feet.
Oh, some Prince.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're a lot of fun.
Do they do like acoustic type thing, or do they?
No, he does not. He plays sax and electric guitar, and she sings and plays the keyboards. Just a lot of fun. And they're coming back in June.
Are they going to be? They'll be inside here at the stage.
Actually,
you're going to have them outside.
Sometimes we put them in the stage, but right now we're going to put them right out here, and
for some
so that
space.
Space. Yep. We can put people out. Then we're going to have Another group here, we're going to actually put them out in the back there where we have the drum riser.
Okay.
And so hopefully by that time people can bring their chairs and sit on the lower level.
Yep. Would you have them facing that way, and then people would be looking this way?
Somewhat angled, probably.
Okay. I know I'm getting all technical now.
TBD.
Just curious. Right, exactly. I know, pressure's on. People want to know where they're
It'll
be
change
playing.
next week.
Right, exactly.
And where can people find information on A, like what food trucks you have here, and B, what music acts you've got coming up?
And also your hours as well, because you mentioned you guys weren't open today. I wasn't sure what your hours are.
So our website, www.backbarnbrewing.com. And then we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Facebook has our current hours. We're open Thursday through Sunday. Thursday we're open 4 to 8. Fridays 3 to 8. We used to be open a lot longer, but COVID's kind of restricted us here.
It's
then
not
Saturday we're open 1 to 8. Sundays 2 to 6. And that has all of our events coming up, our food trucks, our musical acts. We don't go out too far in advance. We do some events out ahead of time.
Do the food trucks rotate, or do you usually use the same ones?
No, we rotate them.
All right. Curious, because somebody's like, you got to try the tacos up there. I'm like, I was all excited. I'm like, ooh, tacos.
They have tacos?
You guys have tacos?
We have like 2 or 3 guys that have different kinds of
right.
tacos. We should have a taco contest.
Taco off, or whatever it is. What is it, a taco off? I mean, is that the right word? Taco off.
Taco.
I heard the Flaco. Is it Flaco Taco?
Flaco
the one,
Taco. I've had Flaco
the one that's
tacos.
at the whatchamacallit, the
right across the street from your old job.
No, that's what I don't know.
They're at the Green Market.
That's it. Thank you so much. See, I'm gonna have everybody do my thinking for me.
I thought
yes,
Flaco
they're at
Taco.
the Green Market outside of City Hall, and I saw it and I was excited, but we were doing something else, and then of course one of my friends goes, "Oh, did you get Flaco Taco?" I'm like, "No, I didn't," and they were all right there. I'm like, "Of course I wanted it, but I couldn't get it."
And
now
Buena Comida comes out with their tacos.
What is it?
Buena Comida.
That's good food in Spanish.
I don't know. I thought it was German.
No, it's good to me. Buena Comida means
and
good food.
Hangry Scott.
For those of you who don't know Spanish.
Hangry Scott also has tacos.
I've heard of him, yeah.
Who is it? Angry Scott?
Hangry.
Oh, Hangry.
The Hangry
It's
Scotsman.
hungry and angry.
Isn't it the Hangry Scotsman or something?
No, it's Hangry Scott.
Okay.
Hangry Scott is like SCOT.
SCOT, but and he does wear his kilt most times.
Let's hope he's wearing something back there. You know, you can't really see their feet in the food or their legs in a food truck. They could be back there in their boxers.
It could be.
Like that Folgers commercial. Like the one guy is like, yeah, you know, he's like, and he looks down and he's got his boxers on and the camera, he's on like a Zoom or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And he's like, cranks it up. Yeah. That's what it's like. I heard my friend Tracy, that's what he does.
Are we hashtagging?
Is that the commercial from Geico?
Yeah.
If you printed out directions to get here, you're in the right place.
So the other day I went on Geico.com and I was looking up rates. Was I hashtagging?
The guy just puts his head down and shakes. He's like, "Oh God!" Those commercials are hilarious.
Very funny.
One of the questions, actually, I wanted to point out, we were talking about beautiful views. Recently, me and the beautiful Jessica climbed Scarface barely. Oh my God, that was brutal. We went to Lake.
I don't even know what that is.
Lake Placid. Scarface is a mountain up in like Saranac, part of the Saranac Six.
Scarface? That's the real name of it? Come on, I think you're making that up.
I actually wore a shirt when I got to the top. I took a photo.
Is that just a nickname?
No, because the face of the mountain has a scar.
Okay, well that's clever.
Yeah, there's actually two Scarfaces up there. 2
different mountains?
Yeah, there's actually 2 haystacks too.
Now, haystack I've heard of.
But there's 2.
The Scarface thing sounds like I don't know, sounds like you made it up.
I did not make it up. And I wore a shirt that said, say hello to my
little
friend.
What's his name? Say hello. That's exactly where I was going with that. How did you know?
That's the shirt that I wore.
Oh, God. You're making that up. I'm looking it up.
I'm not making that up.
Is it a 46er?
No, it's not. It's a 6er for the Saranac 6, but it's not a...
I don't know what that means. You mean, like, is that a beer?
There's 6 mountains in
all right.
But either way, I climbed to the top of that, and I brought 2 beers with me, and one happened to be the Back Barn, and Jess and I took photos.
Nice.
Which one was
of
it?
Beer. It was the Amber.
Quickly.
I think it's the one I'm drinking, the Amber Lager. Actually, I finished the Amber. I bought a 6-pack here, and I finished the last one 2 days ago. So, and then I bought something from what is the other brewery? Bolton Landing.
Oh yeah, been there.
The Brass Ring.
Nice.
Yes, across the street.
The Brass Ring. I think it's still there. Bad things happen there. you were saying Scarface. You actually climbed this thing?
Yep.
Like
it was brutal. It snowed. The whole time we were there, it snowed 6 inches of snow.
When
and this was 2
again?
weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Well,
not last
happens.
week and the weekend before.
Well, speaking of that, we went camping at Calvin Coolidge State Park in Vermont, which is right around the corner from Long Trail Brewing Company, and it was Memorial Day weekend, which is the last weekend in May.
Yeah.
I had probably 3 inches of snow on my truck when we were camping up there.
Wow.
We were like 2 days from June.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was up by Killington.
We had flurries 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And the way it feels outside, we could have more.
This was when we were, those
exactly.
people back home were like, oh my God, I can't believe there's snow. We were like trooping through snow. It was insane. Like, here's photos. Here's me holding one of the beers.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Should have bought your snowmobile.
I should have. I don't have one.
No, you're not borrowing mine.
You got a nice one.
Exactly. That's why you're not borrowing it.
What does my shirt say?
Say hello to my little friend. It doesn't actually sound like that. It says say hello to my little friend.
And it's actually got a little leprechaun on there.
Yeah, right. I don't understand what the leprechaun has to do with
it was a
Tony Montana.
It was a St. Patrick's Day shirt.
That was Tony Montana.
All right, well, I got to get off the phone. I was trying to find the photo where we're holding the beers, but yeah, it was a good time. It was a perfect beer. It's funny because like I said, it had snowed, and we waited the very last day we were there. Around 10 o'clock, it stopped snowing. The sun came out,
and then you left.
No, we said, all right, we wanted to climb some mountain. So right behind our Airbnb was Scarface. So we started the trek, and it was funny because it was like 40 degrees, and it just stopped snowing. So the snow was kind of getting a little packy, but the farther we went up, the more fluffy the snow got, and the more wind pick up, and the colder it got, and the higher and higher you get. And plus, we were like on the shaded side of the mountain up there.
North side.
Yeah, it was brutal. That was a brutal climb.
I guess my question really is what possessed you to want to even climb a mountain at all? Like, for fun?
Why do you go camping?
It seems like work. Well, camping isn't so necessarily work. It can be work, but I mean, it's like you're purposely like trying hard to do more work by climbing a mountain.
And this is the first time I took Jess. Her and I go hiking all the time, and we'll stop at a brewery. We'll find a brewery. We'll go find a trail next to it. We'll go hike it 5, 6, 7 miles.
What if there's not a trail right next to it?
We'll drive a little bit.
Just walk a road?
No, we'll drive a little bit. So we'll go and we'll go on a hike, a flat ground or a rolling hill hike, something nothing crazy.
That's fine. I understand that.
And then we'll go to a brewery and get beer. Now, I told her
Great plan.
What I like to do is go on a hike up a mountain, and when you get to the top where the vista is or whatever, even if there's no vista, you get to the top and you crack open the beer. This is
before or after the heart attack from climbing the mountain.
This is, most likely before. It stops the heart attack. The alcohol thins the blood.
Yes, okay. Right.
So when you get to the top of the mountain, you crack open a beer, and that's your payoff.
That's your gift to yourself.
Yes.
Like you earned it.
Now, Jess,
I bet you can just earn it by walking the road and then drinking a beer too.
Yeah, true. But it's not as fun. It's not as beautiful.
It's
Did
not
you see
as,
the views?
as satisfying. It was pretty nice.
It was beautiful.
I will admit
insane.
that.
Insane. We could just see it. Like,
I mean, you could use a drone
all these
for that
different
too,
lakes
but I
and
guess.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was worth it. And but it was funny because Jess, she's like, I'm not going to wear my hiking boots. I'm wearing my snow boots. But she's like, my socks keep falling. So I'm like, here, take a pair of my socks, put them on, put your socks over them, and then put your boots on. She's
Then
like,
what did you use?
Well, I bring extra pairs of socks.
Oh, you're prepared
Just
for
in
the
case,
hike.
exactly.
Oh, wow. So you were planning on a mountain. Yeah, all right.
Yes.
Wow.
You bring dry clothes, bring extra, like a T-shirt or whatever, extra socks, that kind of stuff, gloves.
If it was me, Jen would be in flip-flops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We get halfway up, and she's like, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, Jess started getting blisters because her socks kept falling down, and she kept rubbing her feet. So she kept stopping. She's like, well, look, let's just open the beers here, and we'll just head back down. I was like, no, if we head back down, we don't open those beers.
Wow, that's militant.
Yeah.
Wow.
They go back in the
Cracking
refrigerator
the
until, yeah. So I finally we
no surprise, no present for you, I guess.
So as we get, like, it's starting towards the summit of this mountain, it gets more and more steep. There's actually, like, cliffs and stuff there's no trail. You got to climb up. Like,
seriously?
Yeah. I actually slipped.
You're nuts.
There was this one 5-foot cliff, and it was covered. She stopped. And I was like, all right, you stay here. We're almost to the top. I'm just going to see if I can find the summit right around the corner up here.
It's the next rise.
Yeah,
I've heard that routine before.
I feel like it's
the next rise.
I kept telling her that, and she kept going. And
20
she kept
hours
going,
later.
She kept going. Finally, she's like, I'm done. I was like, all right, well, let me climb up here, and if I can find it, I'll let you know. I'll come back and get you. And she's like, all right. So I go to climb this ice cliff, and I slip off, and I land on a stump that has, like, right in my back rib. So I was kind of out of commission for about 5 minutes. Try it again. Finally, I found it. I go back. I lift her up the cliff. I lift her up all these different rocks and all these different steep areas. We get out to the scar part of Scarface, which is where there's just shale or stone. There's no trees, no grass.
Yep.
And there's just a beautiful overlook. And we crack open the Back Barn. We crack open the
competitor's beer.
Yeah, it's not a competitor. It was great beer too.
I don't know who it was.
It's Bolton Landing.
Well, yeah, you said that before, the brass ring.
Gotcha. And it was beautiful. It was a great time, and I was happy that Back Barn was part of that process.
Well, thanks for taking
no problem.
Back Barn with you.
Yeah, that was a great trip. We did a bunch of stuff. We went to a bunch of breweries that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, a bunch of breweries up that way too.
Yeah. How often do you get to go out and see other breweries? And
last year has been tough.
Yeah.
Because we did reduce our staffing, so haven't been going out much, but hopefully that will start increasing here over the next couple months.
So what else is in the near future for you guys? Anything you want to push? Or
Well, big thing is our 4 new taps, and that'll give us an opportunity to expand to some sometimes some new different
Try
beers
some new stuff.
and rotate them through quickly. Some fun different beers. It's also going to give us the opportunity to have a sour on.
I was going to ask about that.
Especially during the summer.
Yeah.
We do get asked, and so we will have a sour.
We've been asked. I get asked about that as soon as the weather turned. A lot of people. Yep, people are like, you got a sour. You got a sour. I'm like, yeah. Finally, we have Wolf Hollow, but we had Browns before. I'm telling you, they sell right out as soon as
seltzers too.
Seltzers to some extent, but we'll say this: as soon as the weather turned, people are asking for sours.
Yep, I agree.
And that was I was actually looking to see if you had one because I figured that would be something that would be good to try just because it's that time of year.
It's coming up.
It's coming up.
Hopefully sooner than later. Oh my gosh.
What actually I forget now because I've done some research on brewing. What makes it the sour? I forget what process.
I'm not that familiar with the sour.
See, I'm not.
It's if I remember correctly, it's the yeast that you use.
I think you're right.
There's 2 ways that you can do it. One was yeast, and then there's also like the lake where you put cultures. So it's a big puddle, I think. And you put cultures in the water, and then those cultures feed off of like light and different stuff, and it starts to turn the water sour. And then you kind of mix it in with I don't know.
Yeah.
I read it somewhere too, and I've totally forgotten.
You know who explained it really well to us was our guy over there at Whitman. Whitman
Brewing
in Saratoga.
No, he had a very unique name. My God.
I remember Nick the Brewer.
Tegan, right? Was that it? Wow, I can't believe I came up with that.
I told you I'll never forget a face, but I can't remember names.
Yeah, one you do you sour right from the start, and then the other is a backward or a back sour.
Yeah.
Which means you kind of reverse engineer?
Well, the forward souring, you could end up with doing sour beers permanently if you make a mistake with the culture. It can be a tricky process.
All right, so that's a big deal right now. I don't think they're ever going to take over like IPAs in popularity, but
no,
it's definitely something that people.
It almost seemed like
that really is a new type of beer, and not that it's new to the world. But nobody even said the word sour up until 5 years ago.
It's that was one thing I was going to say is too. They came out strong, then they kind of fell off.
Well, it's because I think the IPA thing really pushes every other kind of beer off to the side.
Yeah,
even if somebody comes out with this most spectacular ale or, for example, Pilsner, it just seems like it gets lost in the shuffle of all the IPAs.
When's the last time you seen a cream ale?
I just got one from Harry at.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Dad's
Jeans. Yeah, actually, I saw him at the. What we were just talking about, the Green Fair, the farmers market, and he's there, and he had a Czech Pilsner.
Oh, nice.
There, and I'm like, I'll be back, and I got it in my fridge. I'm actually waiting for like a hot day.
Yeah.
Like going out there mowing the lawn or something, get all sweaty.
Yeah.
Cracking that. It's 2 beers, so it's gonna be it's more. 1 beer I'm done in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So you got the 2 beers. It's right in there. It's ice cold. I'm just waiting on it.
Harry's a good dude.
Yeah, he is great. And he's there. And, we talked to him for a little bit. Yeah. He's a real nice guy.
Yep.
But my point is,
I'm psyched about that. I'm like that Czech Pilsner. I'm like, ooh, hot and thirsty. I'm just gonna go in there and crush it.
I was just gonna say though, like they've kind of fallen off a little bit. Like for a while there, cream ale was that hot beer. It's still around, but it's not.
I don't know if I would ever consider the cream ale a hot beer.
There was everybody and their brother came out with.
Stop it. Come on, get out of here. Genesee's making it. That's about it.
No. What about Wolf's Hollow Ski Hill 97 ski something?
I lost you there.
Yeah.
Yep, totally.
Remember his buddy had a ski hill up on
the
top
ski hill up on Glenville Hill or whatever it is. Yes, I do recall
and they named
that.
the beer their cream ale after it.
Yes, I do recall that. That is good memory. See, you're saying you didn't remember. It's pretty good. I would have flown right out of my head.
And not a lot of people make nitro stouts, and our nitro stout just went off, and Wolf Hollow also does a
Now,
nitro.
Yes, I remember we tried. Does that require a different beer gas?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
And
can you use like the what you put Guinness on, or you actually got to get the nitrogen?
No, we have the nitrogen, and it's we have a dry Irish stout, so it's now remaining is the carbonated stout, and then that will be going off. But the nitrogen is a nitrogen blend, and we have to go into our lines are differently backed by our regulators, and you also need a different tap.
Yep, like a Guinness type tap. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, can you use nitrous oxide?
I don't think it's the same thing. Is it? No. You're talking about it's a nitrogen mix, not nitrous. But we run our Guinness on not nitrogen, but on a it's a different ratio of CO2. I forget. I couldn't even. If I thought about it, it's like 60-40 as opposed to like 20-70 or something. It's not even 100%. Great math job.
Will you, if we kind of market it on our podcast, would you start another stout? Instead of using nitrogen, use nitrous, and we call it Laughing Juice, and we'll call the Capital Brew Laughing Juice, exclusively at the Back Barn Brewing.
I wonder if that's possible.
Actually, we might take that on for one of our smaller batches. So, it's an interesting concept.
Would you get the same effects drinking it as you would? Oh yeah, just to say wah wah wah. Everybody will know what I'm talking about. You've been one of those shows. Yeah, I remember the first time that happened to me. I was scared.
Want a beer?
No, I'm fine. That's good for me. I'm like, those beers are plenty. I'll probably have another one back at the bar.
I also want to shout out to Nicole. Thank you so much for helping us set this up today and grabbing our beers for us. And
Nicole's our operations manager.
Yeah, she's great.
Awesome.
So what else? What do we got?
I don't know. I'm spent. I just wailed on those beers. They were delicious.
I wasn't supposed to, but I overheard you saying something that you were going to forget during the podcast.
Well, of course, I always forget. There is a question, just to keep with our whatchamacallit. What got you into brewing?
Yeah.
Well, this is like my third career. I'm retired military, 23 years, retired military.
Wow.
Then I went to work for a defense contractor in Massachusetts and Northern Virginia.
Blackwater.
And no, General Dynamics. Nice. And as I was working at General Dynamics, I was diagnosed with uterine cancer, and full-blown chemo and radiation therapy. And as I was going through treatment, I got to do something else with my life, and wanted to start my own business. I wanted to get back to my roots, start an agribusiness, and I have loved craft breweries for years and years and years, and it all just came together.
Yeah. Came back home.
Now, you mentioned that Klaus does some of the brewing. You must have learned some brewing.
I've done some home brewing.
Is that what, like say, some people took a class, some people went to SEC. Some people just learned on their own. Is that what? I
learned on my own. More importantly, Klaus is a awesome brewer. He's got 25 years plus experience. I did the Portland State University Business of Craft Brewing certificate program, an awesome program. And then I attended a couple of workshops in starting your brewery that all helped round out the education.
Well, it's definitely paid off dividends, at least for your fans and your guests that get to come here and drink it. I'm enjoying it.
Very much so. And like I said, I can't reiterate. I hate to say reiterate enough, but not every beer here is an IPA, which I love to see. And it was, similar to the couple other breweries that we've seen. And I just like to see people doing something else. I mean, of course, you got to have a couple IPAs, but I just love the fact that you're willing to, when everybody else is running in the one direction, to go out there and brew what you want to brew, what you think is great.
We just brewed a rye beer today, and it's a collab that we did with Helderberg Mountain Brewing.
Awesome.
And then next up is going to be a wit beer for one of our summer beers. So, and then we're back to brewing our Pinot.
See, we'll have to come back out.
Yeah.
Try out new beers. We always say that.
Do a podcast.
Right, we always say that, and then we end up back at my place.
Yeah. And we're only 12 minutes from you guys, so we can...
Yes, when he mentioned it, I'm like, hey, we're going out on Route 20. I'm like, it might be like a half an hour to get out there. It wasn't even close. It was what, maybe 20 minutes?
Yeah. 20 minutes.
Much closer than I anticipated.
Yeah, we left at 6:45 your place, and we were
5:45.
Or sorry, 5:45. We got here probably 6:05, 6:06.
Yep. Straight shot too, pretty much. If we went up Broadway, we can almost literally one road, never take a turn.
Go up
Broadway.
You can come out Route 7 to Dwaynesburg and then 20.
Right on Route 20.
Or you can go I-88.
Which is how we did end up coming.
Hopped on I-88, boom, one exit.
Yep.
You're off. That's how I used to go every time when I lived right down the road.
Yeah, but if you're wondering how to get here, get on Broadway and head up.
Yeah.
And basically you're going to take one turn.
Up and out.
Up and out.
And what I say, the directions I gave you, we're going to go up 20 up until we get to the top of the hill. It's going to be on the right-hand side.
Yeah, that was it.
Just go west.
Yeah.
Western Schenectady County. Yeah. It does exist.
Believe it or not, I went to Dwaynesburg.
Yeah.
I went to Dwaynesburg High School.
I still come out this way to go to Cooperstown. I still take Route 20.
Some people think I'm nuts.
It's one of the fastest ways.
But I love going that way. I just love taking that route. I love going out to Cooperstown. Cooperstown's a great little town.
We got to do that.
Yeah, we definitely got to get out there.
There's 2 brewers out there.
I've never been to Omegang. Yep. I've never been in Omegang.
We got to go see a show, and then you could camp out at Omegang.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I don't know with what's going on right now. I'm not sure what the rules are regarding that.
And then you can stop back on your way back here.
That's right. I got to hit the hall, too.
For sure. Anytime I go. Because Jess has friends that live in Schoharie, and when we come back, we always stop. We stopped recently.
Yeah, just a couple weeks ago.
Where were we coming back from? Oh, a friend of mine was looking at radio stations, and we looked at a radio station in Richmondville, and then we went to... My God, I can't remember the name of that restaurant. That's
The Bears?
No, I wish that'd been great.
Bull's Head?
No, it's like a roadhouse. It's around 30. You go up 30. Man, and they had Red Shed there, which I was impressed with. Man, I can't remember.
No
the
idea.
Name of that place. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Apple Barrel?
Nope.
Sorry.
It's not Schoharie. It's
Farmer's Beef and Brew.
Nope. You go to you're going out to Schoharie, get off whatever that exit is. There's a park and ride to the left. You can take a right, and then you go.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Central Bridge. You go through Central Bridge. Yeah, and then you come up, and that's I think 30. You just start going up 30, and then 30 forks, and you stay to the left, and it's like 3 or 4 miles on the left hand side. You can get there through snowmobilers. Go there.
I know what you're talking about. The Hillview used to be over that way.
Yeah.
But not.
Wait, the Hillview used to be right by the Stewart's, right?
Yes.
So
the new Stewart's is the exact location. Hillview.
Yeah. So go past that. Go past that's the Lansing. Or Esperance. Go past Esperance. If you're going that way, go past Shunpike Hill Road. Keep going, and you get to that light. Take a right, and you start going up the hill, and it forks, and you stay to the left.
Is that Route 30?
I think that's Route 30. I think maybe Route 30 keeps going straight.
It does, yeah.
You fork to the left, and then it's like 2 or 3 miles on the left-hand side. Forget the name of it. I had
terrible.
Yeah. Well, I stopped on the way back from there.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you for a great time.
Yes, thank you so much.
Well, thank you for coming, and thank you for
doing this. Thank you for the beer.
You're welcome.
And we'll definitely do it again if you're...
Absolutely.
All right. All right, so I guess that wraps up another episode. I don't even know how many we're in. How many episodes have we done?
Are you kidding me? No idea.
We're getting up there.
It's got to be. Well, at one time it was like what?
In the teens?
It was in the teens.
We might be in the 20s.
Nah.
We're in the 20s.
I wish I was still in my 20s.
Or it's like 22. We're old enough to drink plus some.
27 was the best year.
Yeah?
You're old enough to be considered an adult,
Lower car
but you're
insurance.
young enough to get away with some young people shenanigans.
Yeah. like drinking all night and then going to work the next day.
Or not going to work the next day.
Well, my hangovers were nearly as bad as they are now. Now I sniff a beer and I'm like, oh, the next morning I'm like, why did I do that?
Yep. We're going to leave it at that.
Yes. My alcoholicness. And, this one time...